Yeah, you try. You know, you do. I know my daughter one time, my middle daughter. I was leaving out the garage, and I left. I raised them in North Carolina, and I left the garage. I left the door open to the garage, from the kitchen to the garage, and she yelled at me, "Daddy, close the door, bugs!" And so I snapped and grabbed it, and who are you talking to?
That tone wasn't working.
She was the only one out of the three.
You said the middle girl.
The middle girl.
Not the oldest or the youngest,
No,
the middle.
Yeah, because the way she said it to me, like it was her house.
Triggered. Didn't matter. I'm still dad.
It's like it was her house, though. You know, close the door, you nothing bugs. Oh, come on, man. So you can't do that.
Right.
You know, my mother would have punched me in the face
Well,
had I would have talked to her that way. You know.
Well, wait now.
So it's different.
wait now. I'm gonna flip back and say this here. My mama was 6 feet 285, and my daddy was 5'4", 140, fighter. And daddy he died 10 years ago, 104. He'd be like 114 now. And a man's was a man, and he would always say things of the adversary of, "Hey boy, sir, not huh? No. That's not our time. I know for a fact it's not our time.
Well, we didn't say sir, ma'am, but
No.
said yes.
Sir, I'm pretty sure you got some of that, if not all of it.
That's it.
So-
Sir, yes.
He would say, "Hey boy," I say, "Sir." He said, "So you think you're a man?" "Sir?" He say, "You better be one when you run into one." He says, "There's only one man in this house." He's talking about, because you always got the sermon before you got the whooping or whatever. You give me the whooping. I don't want to hear the sermon. As you're hearing the sermon, you're like, okay, it's getting ready to come right about now. Then sometimes they flip it up on you and do it in reverse. But you understood the concept that a healthy dose of fear brought about a healthy dose of respect until they left this earth. All of the older people.
So, and from that standpoint of fear and respect, okay, I follow that. But the parents have to be at a certain place also.
True.
If you have parents who may have serious addictions, if you have parents who are, I'm just going to call it struggling, don't know from day to day if the door is going to be locked or not, that's a different kind of frustration in them.
Speak on that. Speak deeper on that.
So when you got a child in the house who's acting out, that parent discipline becomes totally different because they dealing with their own issues,
Okay.
own frustrations. And sometimes
They don't know.
part of that whipping, it has nothing to do with you. It's them letting out their own frustrations with life.
Well, our parents used to work for the lighter pail of skin at that time. Let me finish.
Okay.
And when they worked for that lighter pail of skin, and you came home, I came from a 2-parent home. I'm blessed. And what my daddy said was what it was. "Oh, you got something to say?" "Well, Mama, you shouldn't let Daddy. You told me." "I'll let you speak to your daddy when he come home." See, now, what you're saying to me is that has been taken out of the home.
Well, to a degree, but I'm not even speaking on that. I'm speaking on the daddy that has an alcoholism issue.
Didn't some of them drink back then? My
But
father
this is,
didn't.
but this is the point I'm making.
But that's what they dealt with the
Well, you're saying the
outside
kid
society.
What
loses
I'm
respect.
saying is the way your daddy may have dealt with you, the other kid daddy was dealing with him different because he got an alcohol problem. The way your mother may have dealt with you, even if she worked for the man, is different than the mother who can't find a job and don't even know if they could put food on the table tomorrow. So even in those scenarios, there's still levels to it. Levels to your everyday frustration, which driving you to become depressed as a parent, and you're trying to raise kids. So now you're dealing with kids who's growing up, and they seeing things, and
Need stuff.
they asking questions, or they going through their own personal growth and challenges, and you as someone trying to discipline them, that discipline will always come out the right way.
Because
'Cause
of
you're
them
not
dealing
balanced.
They're dealing with their own.
Dealing with a parent that's not balanced.
Well, let me ask you all this. Yeah, I think this is a very, very profound question to ask. Do you think that has to do with age or wisdom or experience?
It has
Because
to
the
do
parents are younger now.
It has to do with life circumstances.
Yeah,
to a
economics.
great, economics by far.
Yeah, economics.
Economics could change. Listen, I think I got 3 boys.
You think?
No, I got 3 boys.
I just want to get you in a little trouble. That's why I said that. 3 or 2?
I got 3 boys.
Okay.
The oldest, I think I had to spank him about 3-4 times at
Okay.
least. The second one,
Is he the rotten one is the question.
no. He's just,
He's
got his own way of thinking.
Is
the
the
one that's
youngest
gonna
one-
rebut. He's the rebuttal.
Now the middle one, who's a school teacher, coach, I think I spanked him once.
What about the last one?
The last one,
No spankings.
I've never spanked him.
We had 2 examples in front
No,
of us.
here's what I'm saying. I got a spanking almost every day.
All of us.
But I think I gave out a total about 5 spankings in a lifetime. Now follow this now. Follow where I'm going. I'm coming home with a whole different level of peace inside of me.
Okay.
I'm not worried about lights,
Right.
food, clothes.
The economic condition was
I don't
totally
have
different.
those worries. I'm not worried about, is my car gonna get stolen when I park it today? I have a whole different mental makeup at a young age than someone who probably came out of school. Mom said, you gotta go. They got a child and maybe the dad's not involved or whatever. And they're trying to figure out where I'm gonna go. I can't get in college. I didn't handle my business in school the way I was supposed to.
Okay.
It wasn't even it wasn't in my family lineage. And I'm out here trying to figure this out, and I'm frustrated. At that age, that wasn't my worry. I come out of college going right into the NBA. So my level of how I raise my kids is super calm from someone who grew up in the projects and saw a lot of other things. I'm
Mr.
the totally
Ruff?
opposite.
He's absolutely correct. The economics play a part of your, level of frustrations as a parent, or, you even getting on your parents' nerves asking for stuff that they know they can't provide.
But that was our burning desire to get out of
That's what drove us.
our geographical fervor, as they call that,
Yeah.
to get out of here and make a difference. Now, the thing I'm getting to, we're getting short with time, and I wanted to run this down, is that I'm going to scratch that and go to this here. What is your main message you want to get across today? My question to both of you all is just here. Is the dream still alive, or is it a nightmare?
So for me, I think we were sold the wrong dream.
Ooh.
For me.
Mr. Ruff?
What does that mean?
So for me, what it means is you were teaching me everything but financial literacy.
Ooh.
I think if you taught me from day one, if I didn't learn in the house, I knew I was going to learn in the school about finances, how money works, where it's at, how do you get it, how do you grow it, how does money truly work. Now, if everybody understood that, their whole game would change.
Stay there. You go to, went from money, you go to mentorship and entrepreneurship now.
Yeah, and that's what we teach. We teach entrepreneurship, right? Economic development. The new piece we're adding is investments, right? So we're trying to, if you go through a YES program going forward, we're gonna give all our kids $100 in an investment account, right? I was trying to cut this deal with Charles Schwab, but my guy was working over there, but with one of those type of companies, right? And then somebody from that company will show them how to take $100, right? Learn the market, play the market, and grow that into $500, $1,000, or I got kids as young as 12 in our programs. By the time they're 18, they can have enough to buy a condo, get a car, whatever they want. They may have 15, 20 grand.
Changes all his
and it-
decisions.
Perfect.
So
Beautiful. I have to go lateral now. You have a couple of tournaments coming up you have to speak of.
we had last month our HBCU basketball classic in the Virgin Islands. We had several HBCUs come out and play. Year 4. We'll do it again next year, and then we're trying to do HBCU football in St. Croix. So that's what's going on.
Well, I got to drop this in there too. This has been on my mind a while. I want to have your input. Essex County at one time was the beacon of Essex County. Say northern New Jersey period and Hudson County and a couple. It was the beacon of athletics and to get your scholastics and cerebrals in the right position at one time. Coach Hill and a couple others were there. Do you feel, or as I feel, they should have had a football team to this point in day, to this time right now, that would catapult them to be active, the student enrollment that goes there, that are student athletes, to go further and beyond. What do you all have to say on
You
that?
talking about Essex?
Essex County College.
So then the only question I would have is, does all the other county colleges have football programs?
Well, I'm speaking of Essex County primarily because the hub of Newark being the largest population in
Who
the
are they
state
gonna
of New
play?
Jersey.
That's what I'm getting at. Who are they going to play? Because
They would play out of state.
Then you got cost factors to think about. So that's
That's a whole different.
That's a whole different
dynamic.
animal
All
right
your
there.
games is out of state, and you still have to line up with those who they consider of equal talent.
associate programs.
So they're not going to let D1 play D2.
No, strictly county or JUCOs.
Yeah,
So,
well,
so we back to the point. You have to find schools also that are county with football programs, and the majority don't.
I don't have those.
Great observation. Well, as we bring this to a close, with
Let me say
Anthony
one more
Avent,
thing before you close.
please.
So I didn't know Ant when he was younger, growing up.
Me neither. I heard of him, but I
Yeah,
didn't know
He
him.
came on the radar, right? And it was like, all right, dude, I just passed. Seton Hall doing this thing. So he's playing for Orlando Magic. I don't know if you remember this. He's playing for the Orlando Maverick. I'm at the game, and he's shooting around, and I come up to him and I say, hey man, proud of you. I'm from Newark. I don't even know if he remember, but he was with the Magic back, and that's how that was the first time we met.
Okay.
We
Did you
met-
ever play with Shaq?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. He
Two
was the
Newark
forward.
boys.
He was what? So that's when I first met you.
Okay.
Then afterwards, we became cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was our first official meeting. I came to the game and I saw you on the court shoot around, and I said hello. I told you I was from Newark.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If you spoke to me, I know I spoke back.
Oh yeah, no question.
And I can assure you, I didn't speak to you as if I was better than you.
No, you was the man. You was cool.
Because the one thing I always, I'm not going to say pride myself on, but when you grow up in the humble areas where you're constantly humbled, you carry that with you.
And on that note, I have to conclude. This is
Awesome.
Deadline, and I'd like to thank our guests, Anthony Avent and Ernest Ruffin. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and as I
Appreciate
always
it.
close out, I say before we can love all people, we must first love ourselves. We'll see you the next time. I'm your host, Poochie Hill. This is Deadline. Thank you.
I want to segue into something you said.